What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, what the world is listening to. And this is our second attempt at this, so we were a little bit more enthusiastic previously, but we're still going to give you our 100% pure entertainment. I'm the hot commodity ENC, joined, this is Back to the Future by my favorite co-host.
You guys remember me? No? Yes? Maybe? Hey, I'm Kris. I don't know if you guys remember me, but I'm back on the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast for this episode. It's good to be here. I haven't talked to you in a while. We tried recording this earlier, but we fucked up. But it's good to be back. I'm happy to give my thoughts on Full Gear. Yeah. Shout out. You guys recognize if you guys recognize me from Twitter, shout out.
Let's go. Is it Twitter or is it X?
At whatever.
I'm just
you guys
trying
recognize
to
me from X, then
how would people
follow me,
recognize you
bitch.
from X? Because I want to follow you. Like, how could people find you? Like, what's that? What's that situation?
Go to X. My at is the at is CMM Morales 2021, but the name of my Twitter account is Kris Russell TV. So go click that follow. Like I said, people probably have already seen my tweets. Nothing crazy. It's just I like to spread some good. I like to spread some good vibes about pro wrestling. So yeah.
Yeah, listen, I have to check it out. I don't really I've never been a Twitter person. Even when I was in high school when it came out,
Lord.
I've only been an
See,
Instagram.
I've never been a Twitter person either, but what got me on Twitter was I wanted to kind of after like me and you stopped communicating for like the fucking 5 months. I wanted to like find more friends to like talk wrestling with. So I got on Twitter and I met a good group of friends, and then I just started tweeting, and then I started seeing all these people, uh, you know, tweeting their thoughts and just tweeting what was going on. So I just followed the train. I only have like 115 followers, but you know, if when you use hashtags and stuff like that, like people see them. So like the view, like you can see your views on the bottom. So like I said, so it's fun. I use it. I use it for fun. I use it to get through my day when I'm doing my real life stuff. I met some good friends on there. So shout out to everybody. You know who you are. Group chat. So shout out to you guys.
I want to be added to that shit, bitch. So listen, I feel like when you get wrestlers to block you, in my eyes, I think you've come pretty far. So
fuck you, Top Dollar. Fuck you, Danhausen. Fuck you, Sean Ross Saps. Fuck you, Julia Hart. Fuck you, Chris Jericho, Fozzie's manager, the manager for Fozzie. Fuck you. Shout out to Jim Cornette. Shout out to the Brooklyn Brawler. Those are some people I've interacted with.
Yeah. Shout out to Trish Stratus.
Yeah. Fuck all the people that blocked me. Oh, shout out to Natalia who replied to me and gave me a heart on Instagram.
Oh, I have to tell Aaron, he might get mad. Natalia Neidhart.
I love Natalia. She replied with this emoji and a heart and added me. So shout out to the people. Shout out to the good.
Natty Neidhart. Shout out. I love her.
But yeah, to the people that have me blocked, fuck you, Sean Ross Saps, you little bitch. All right, let's go. Talk about Full Gear.
It was so exciting when Natty came out for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I'll show you the screenshot off air.
I gotta tell you, Trish Stratus, you listen, shout out to her. She's
shout out to the Brooklyn Brawler, man. He's a good guy. Me and him talk. He joins our Twitter spaces. I follow him around. He liked my tweet the other day. He's a good guy. Shout out to the Brooklyn Brawler. You know who the Brooklyn Brawler is?
Of course, Steve Lombardi.
Okay.
Listen, here's the thing, brother. We are the two idiots that when we see the wrestlers, we would try to be really cool, but I don't think we would be able to. Like, I would you know how the Taylor Swift fans are, they're all dramatic and they scream and go crazy. Like, that would be me if I met like Trish Stratus, or if I met I would get all quiet. Like, I just smile.
That'd be me for like certain people. Like Will Ospreay, holy shit, I'd kind of fanboy if I ever met Will Ospreay.
Or like
I'm
if
not
I
gonna lie.
saw like I don't know, like Taker or like anyone like that or Stone Cold, like I
Oh,
would
of
shake their
course. But like I was fortunate to sit at the front, like at the live shows, live events.
hands.
I've I've given Becky a
Yo,
handshake. I've given a lot of these people
dude,
shit.
shout
So
out to you because I live
Otis doesn't
for
like
you.
me. Also has me blocked, but he doesn't like me in real life. So it's
Oh, it
okay.
is. You better watch out. He's gonna give you the world's strongest slam.
He's a bitch.
Well, so Christian over here is ex-famous, so I'll have to try to
No,
see
I'm
if
not. No, I am not.
you're gonna be.
On
I'm
some
gonna try.
days. On some days, I am actually.
Maybe if you can help me, I'll add the link to when I can edit it on YouTube to the YouTube and Spotify and all that good
Okay,
stuff.
cool, cool.
Um, so we're here to cover All Elite Wrestling Full Gear 2023 in Los Angeles, California. I watched it live illegally, and we watched it, and he actually watched the whole thing. He was a trooper.
I
We
also
saw
did watch it illegally. I have ExpressVPN. Shout out to Fight TV. Shout out to ExpressVPN. Shout out to Jim Cornette.
what's up with that? Because I'm late to the party with that. I don't know what's.
Oh, Jim
I just.
Cornette. I use his promo code for
Oh,
ExpressVPN.
okay, okay,
So
okay. See, I was able to get it on one of
call it
those
the
like
Cornette,
legal
baby.
sites, but
Oh,
Cornette
I
is
don't know
awesome.
how.
I gotta tell you, that just that clip of him going off on Vince Russo during the Dark Side of the Ring is
Cornette's my hero.
I wish he could be my manager. He's like, you fucking piece of shit. You know you and then, like it's
Cornette's
awesome.
my hero, dude.
It's just he's amazing. But yeah, so we are covering All Elite Wrestling Full Gear, Los Angeles, California. And we'll dive right into the action. We start the night with a girls' choir singing for the TNT champion, the patriarch Christian Cage, to come out. And we have Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus taking on Darby Allin, the Radar Superstar, Adam Copeland, and Sting with the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Uh, I wasn't really a fan of this match because, well, at one point we see Luchasaurus chokeslam Darby Allin hard onto the apron. That was pretty sick. We know that Allen's going to be leaving to prepare for his, what is he now, Everest? He's
This
climbing.
fucking oh lord.
So we know that's going to happen. Another cool moment for me, at least, was when we saw Copeland pretty much military press Nick Wayne onto Luchasaurus on the floor. Christian accidentally hits Luchasaurus with the title, and Adam Copeland goes after Christian. He runs through the crowd, runs away from Adam Copeland. Copeland nails a spear to Luchasaurus, and then Allin hits a coffin drop. Also, I forgot to mention, Ric Flair got a low blow from Christian Cage during this. We're going to cover this all, like, in depth, our thoughts on Flair, all this stuff. But let me give you my quick thoughts on the match and this whole situation. I'm not a Sting person. I never really was a Sting fan. So I respect him for what he's done in the business, but I really don't care. Ric Flair coming back does nothing for me either. It's good to see him. He looks like he's not doing too well, but it's good to see him. For me, what I didn't like about this match was since Adam Copeland debuted, him and Christian have not been able to touch. Like they've been at it, but they haven't really. This is the one time that you can give us. People are paying $50. Some people are paying $50, and a lot of them thought. I mean, I wouldn't, but a lot of people thought that that Copeland and Christian at least do something, and they ruined that moment. At least for me, you have a 6-man match. The purpose of this match was for Copeland and Christian to finally, and I get they're saving it, and I understand, but when you have an 8-match card, if you're not going to have something happen between the two of them, I really don't think it was necessary. Ric Flair being back again, I don't care, but it was an okay match. What were your thoughts? And
This
I'm
felt like all
everything.
this felt like all elderly's wrestling to me. They started off this show kind of hot, right? They gave us a match that we wanted to see: Edge, Sting, Christian Cage, Darby, whatever. But they did some basic fucking moves that, first off, there's no reason Adam Copeland, I'm still calling him Edge. There's no reason Edge should be doing a fucking suicide dive between the ropes at his fucking age. This and why is Ric Flair involved in this match, doing any type of physical anything? Anything. Look, I get it. Ric Flair wants to come back to do his little run with Sting. I get it. But he's not on TV every week. He's there because it's in LA. You know, there was no need for Ric Flair to get involved. That kind of ruined it for me. But I like you said, I expected to see some type of altercation between Adam Copeland and fucking Christian, but we didn't get to see it. I still think they're saving that for. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna do it in World's End. World's End is gonna be kind of a pay per view. That's gonna be interesting, but they're gonna say that for World's End, which doesn't bother me in a way because this story kind of lost its flavor to me a while, like a couple of weeks ago. But I thought that the heels were gonna get the win on this match to set up an something between Edge and Christian, but I was wrong. Darby Sting and Adam Copeland won, like you said. So decent match, but just kind of on some unnecessary spots and kind of slow.
And then after the match, to give it up for fucking Sting. It's his last time. He's like, it's like, listen, who are we supposed to be like super in awe of? Adam Copeland or Sting? Because I thought this match was for Copeland, but I guess it was for Sting. So okay. So then I forgot to mention this early on in the show. They talked about this at 0 hour. MJF got attacked by Bullet Club Gold, and he gets taken away in the ambulance. But he begs Adam Cole to don't let them take the title from me. So Tony Schiavone has a ref on the stage, and he calls out Bullet Club Gold. He says, unfortunately, MJF is injured and cannot defend the title tonight. The match has been canceled by default. Your new champion. And then before he says anything about Jay White, Adam Cole comes out. Adam Cole says, there's not a shot in hell you're leaving with Max's title. If MJF can't defend that damn title, I'll do it for him. Tonight it will be Jay White versus Adam Cole. And Jay White says, my good friend, I took you out before, and tonight I'll take you out for good. So what I didn't understand, and Ant made a good point, why are they going to allow an injured guy to wrestle? But like, and say that that's sanctioned and that's okay, you know, like
that's why I kind of thought it was bogus when I saw it, because look, this is a good way to get Adam Cole involved back and doing it. Look, he's probably at home. He's grew his beard out, so it looks like he hasn't left the fucking house in months. All right, this is a good way to get Adam Cole involved without actually having to do anything physical. The problem with this is super, super unrealistic because we know damn well Adam Cole's not going to have a match. That's what I had the problem with. I didn't mind the little face-to-face he had with Jay White because there is history there. But this felt like very, like my girlfriend's watching it with me. She doesn't know anything about wrestling. And she's like, well, there's no way this is going to happen. Like, she knows it's scripted or whatever. But, like, even she knows, like, this is bogus. Like, you got to make this shit look realistic. Like, have Samoa Joe be the one to fucking do it. I don't know. Good way to get Adam Cole involved, but to me, this just did not make sense.
Yeah, and again, like for me, I'm old, so I want to go to bed by 11 o'clock. This was not necessary.
Oh my lord! You're not the only fucking one, dude.
Yeah, so that for me, they didn't really need that. Next we have the AEW International title on the line. Champion Orange Cassidy with Hook taking on John Moxley with John Moxley with Wheeler Yuta.
Oh god.
This was a good match. We saw like a blood spot from Moxley.
You think?
Which, you know, obviously. We see Cassidy apply the red rum, which was kind of cool. And then we see Orange Cassidy drop kick Moxley into an exposed post. Orange nails an orange punch like 3 times, rolls up. John Moxley gets a 2 count. The end comes when Cassidy hits, 6 punches to Moxley and then a beach break, and then he gets a 3 count. I gave this a 4 out of 5. I was surprised to see Cassidy win clean like this. I didn't think he was going to. I thought Moxley was going to get the win. So, he kind of was able to put an end to this rivalry because now he can say, I beat you clean. After the match, though, Wheeler Yuta bumps into Hook, so obviously there's gonna be some tension there. It was a decent match. I mean, I liked it. There's some different good spots here. The clover leaf, they scratch each other. Moxley bites Cassidy. Cassidy bites Moxley. It's the same. you know. So, what do you think?
Let me tell you something about this fucking clown named Orange Cassidy. Pockets. Listen here, Pockets. You should you should be nowhere near an AEW championship belt. I will give you some excuse me. I will say this about you. I am happy that you won the championship because I can't stand to see Moxley have another fucking title run. But here's my thing about this match, Ant. This was a typical John Moxley match. And like you said, same shit. This is why I don't enjoy his matches. This was like the same shit we seen with these two the first match we fucking had. I mean, I never liked Orange Cassidy, first off. I think he's a shitty wrestler. He's a shitty promo. John Moxley's promo, I like Dean Ambrose. I've said this since day one. I like Dean Ambrose. I don't like John Moxley. So I didn't care about this match. I paid no attention to it. I'm kind of happy. I wouldn't say happy, but I'm okay with Orange Cassidy winning if that means I don't have to watch Moxley go out there and cut a promo talking about how the fuck he's gonna eat my guts and fucking shoot my brain out.
How do I? Okay, what I'm noticing as we're recording this is the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. You're like, I want to try to fix it so that let's see. There we go. the, the whole time that this has been going on, I mean, I'm kind of glad because I stare at myself. You have been the whole screen. So now it's like we're next to each other.
Oh, I like the other way better personally.
The other way, let's do the other way then. Let's do it.
No, it doesn't matter to me. It's your show. But like when I do my videos with people, I like it the other way because you get to see the whole face, and then because on the YouTube videos, it's gonna show whoever's talking's whole face. So.
Oh wait. Okay, there we go.
It's kind of neat like that. I like it.
Okay, see, I didn't know that it does that. I'm just watching it through I'm old. Okay. Yes. Same shit with John Moxley. Orange Cassidy, to be honest with you, every time I turn on Dynamite, he's like the opening match, and I'm like, great. So he needs to grow on me a bit more. I understand. Like, he really doesn't really bring a lot. That's the thing with AEW. A lot of these wrestlers, there are a lot like MJF, Page, Strickland, did I say MJF? Like a lot of them I think are actual, like I can see them winning a match fighting. Orange Cassidy isn't a realistic, like I couldn't see Orange Cassidy versus The Undertaker. I could see Hangman Page versus The Undertaker.
And this guy, Matt, sorry to cut you off. Matt Hardy, you are a fucking idiot. You have taken way too many Matt Hardy, you are an idiot. You have taken way too many fucking concussions. This guy tried to say that Orange Cassidy is like AEW's Undertaker.
What?
On his podcast. His exact words were, if you think about it, Orange Cassidy is like a modern day Undertaker. And I wanted to fucking.
Oh, speaking,
Yo, Jim Cornette's reaction to that had me fucking dying.
No, I can't do a podcast, even though I don't really necessarily kind of have it no more.
Yeah, because I took it from you.
I still, I haven't been on here, so I have to make sure that I present the title belt. Unlike Julia Hart last week, who was holding the title belt like this.
I will talk about her in a second.
But, this is my beautiful championship. There. But to keep it going, Jim Cornette's awesome, by the way.
I'm thinking about what he said about Orange Cassidy. It's funny as
What
shit.
did he say? I don't know.
I'm suited. Dude, so Jim Cornette was hearing the quote that Matt Hardy had just said about Undertaker, because you brought it up. And Jim Cornette was like, what? What? Like his reaction, oh my God, it was awesome.
Because that makes no sense. I mean, if he said, listen, this doesn't make sense either, but even if he said now,
he was pissed. He was so pissed.
Like, Malachi Black, at least you can understand a little comparison because he's so dark, like his character is like. But Orange Cassidy has no similarity to Undertaker whatsoever. Like, I don't. Undertaker would be pissed. I
Oh
love.
Lord.
I just need to. Isn't it beautiful? So moving on. I actually like this. The AEW Women's Championship, the champion Hikaru Shida. Did I say it right? Hikaru?
Hikaru.
Hikaru. Defending against timeless Toni Storm with Luca. I love this. And the reason why I like this, it's weird, it doesn't make sense, but I like how true to form it is. That backstage interview last week on Dynamite where Mariah May showed up, the black and white, the way they were talking, the way it sounded, I'm buying into it. Her attire was even almost like one of Mildred Burke, like the original, back in the day women wrestlers. And I really like how deep she's going into it. If I was told your character now is going to be a lady who thinks she's an old Hollywood star, I don't know how I would do so well with it. She's doing pretty good with it, I will say. My opinion. So the match starts out, she rips the script, and there's a lot of back and forth action here. Luther puts something in Toni's pants, and then she hits Hikaru with the shoe. She gets a 2 count. A lot of continued back and forth. Toni applies an ankle lock. Toni goes to hit Hikaru with her shoe, but then Hikaru elbows her. While this is going on, Hikaru attacks Luther outside of the ring with a kendo stick. And then Toni Storm has this like metal pallet in her butt, and she hits a running hip attack in the corner to Hikaru and gets the pinfall victory. And just the way she won, she gets her flowers, she gets carried out. The music, I thought it was great. Like I enjoyed it. Um, I I don't like the way they just drop the titles so back and forth like that. But it is a good break from you have a champion from WWE who's been champion for 3 years. So I liked it. I'm a Toni Storm fan. What did you think?
Okay. So Hikaru Shida, I'm not a big fan of her, right? I think she's I've always thought she's at the top of the AEW women's division for kind of as long as she has because of her association with Kenny. I'm not saying she's a bad wrestler. She has no personality and she doesn't cut promos. Like for a fuck, I don't even think she speaks English. So a lot of people like to say she's the heart and soul of that AEW division. I think that's bogus.
Hikaru Shida?
Absolute bogus. Yes. If you
Yeah,
think
she doesn't have any personality.
that's bogus. But Toni Storm, I'm not a fan of the gimmick at all. I'm not a fan of this Marilyn Monroe type gimmick. It's
But
so
here's what you
slow.
have
I
to
don't like these
remember.
vignettes. Go ahead.
No, well, I feel you because that's how I felt at first. But the thing is that she's nuts, right? Like it's all on her mind, right? She's not really like and there's been a lot of crazy stories. And for some reason, I don't know why dude, I'm rocking with this. I don't know why. I don't know
I'm
why.
not. See, I'm not rocking with it because look, I'm happy they gave her the title, right? I don't like women's wrestling. I'm very open about my very strong dislike for women's wrestling. Well, I think women's wrestling is awful. But Toni Storm is the only woman in that AEW roster that can wrestle. She's good, okay? She's a good wrestler. I'm a fan of Toni Storm. She's doing this gimmick well. If it's anyone else doing it besides Toni Storm, it'd be stupid. But I'm just not a fan of the vignettes and all that shit. But the match, I thought the match was okay. That's what it was. I didn't really pay much attention to it because I like some of the moves Toni Storm does. Akira Shida isn't bad at all. I just think she's very boring. Toni Storm, at least, Jeremy, the dude that plays one of the Von Erich brothers in the new Iron Claw, said it very best. And it's what you do in the middle of these matches that kind of matter to the fans, Tony Storm does that. Akira Shida doesn't. So I didn't pay much attention to it. I paid a little more attention to Tony, but it
I
was
gotta
okay.
ask you this.
The right person did win though.
This is kind of an AEW related question, and we haven't talked about this. So I want to ask you, what do you think about Jade Cargill being? Do you think she's going to have a big name there in WWE, or do you think she's going to
Oh
start going?
Lord. So this is my. I'm not gonna go too much into detail. I don't want to take forever. But
Yeah.
Jade Cargill, to me, I don't want to. People are gonna shit on me, but I think they fumbled the bag with Jade Cargill. I don't know why is Brian Pillman Jr. on WWE TV before Jade Cargill. If there's if they're training her, showing her the WWE
It's
way
actually
of doing things,
Alexis King, right?
don't
Is it
get
Alexis
me
King?
started. Do not get me
I think
started
it's
with
Alexis
that
King.
name. Don't get me started with the name. I hate the name. I respect for what it means, but the name sucks. Okay, the name fucking sucks. But why is Jade Cargill on? Like, I don't know. I feel like they should have done. They should have had Jade Cargill develop on TV and NXT. If that's what they're doing behind the scenes, she's already an established name. People know who the fuck she is. You've
Mm-hmm.
already made her look like a star for the past fucking 3 weeks, having her go face to face with Becky and Charlotte, and out of nowhere we haven't seen her. So, question your answer. I think unless they can build up because I want to see a Bianca. If they don't build that up, again, I'm not a fan of women's wrestling, but if they can build her to a heel, that bitch that she was when she first got to AEW, I'd be a fan. I like that bitchy ghetto attitude. No, I don't mean ghetto, but I like that bitchy. I'm the Black Queen attitude. I loved it. She
I mean,
like with her. I love it. I love
bougie,
it.
bad and bougie.
She's like she's like a bad and bougie. Like a bitch, she plays it well. I hate her husband for the simple fact that he used to beat my Pittsburgh Pirates, but he's a really good baseball player. But Jade Cargill, I'm a fan. Just think they fumbled her a little bit right now.
Listen, I'm kind of excited to see what she's going to do the way they're pumping her up. So we're going to cover this one pretty quick, and then we're going to take a break and then come back and cover the rest of the show. But this is the AEW Tag Team Titles ladder match. We have the champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill defending against the Kings of the Black Throne, FTR and LFI. I kind of dropped the ball on this one. I paid attention. I mentioned to you this earlier. I think that with matches like these, they don't need to be too long. Think of the triangle ladder match at Mania 2000 was probably like what 10 minutes, maybe 8. This match, it was good, but there was a lot of crazy spots. Like fucking Brody King was just a bloody mess. He took the worst of it all. I think he got cannonball. He cannonballed himself
Hell
off the
yeah.
ladder. He got fucked up. So Ricky Starks and Big Bill get the win after Ricky does this is the basic always way they have the ladder match when he hits one of the FTR members off the ladder with the title. Ricky and Big Bill get the win. What'd you think of this?
At first I wasn't really with the on board of how Ricky Starks and Big Bill would do in a tag team. This match kind of proved me a little bit, wrong. I don't mind them being a tag team. I strongly, 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 strongly dislike FTR. There's only two people in the wrestling.
I love FTR.
The only thing I would say I hate for in the wrestling business is Sean Ross Saps and the Young Bucks. But I very, very dislike FTR. But
for the Revolution,
I think they should be champions. They do some of the better moves than these guys. I think Big Bill and Ricky Starks will play out as a storyline purpose. But if I'm being realistic, I think FTR should have won that. But I strongly dislike those two. But the match was awful. The match sucked. It was all over the fucking place. I was confused. Who the fuck was? I knew whose team was on her, but the match was a clusterfuck in my opinion.
Yeah, it kind of just it took me out through. It was way too long. And the problem is a lot of these matches are long. So it's like you're sitting here and you're like in for the long haul, and then you're like, okay, maybe they'll shorten a bit. Nope. And again, less is more sometimes with these matches, especially with the Texas Death Match that they had after.
Oh
I feel
yeah.
could have changed a bit. And we're gonna get to that because I have a lot of thoughts on that one. But we don't have a lot of time remaining in this part of it. We have a couple more matches to cover, so we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to cover the AEW TBS title. We have the AEW Championship, the Texas Death Match, and a lot more. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. And welcome back. I'm still the hot commodity and C, and
I'm still Kris.
What's your X handle again?
I'm still Kris Russell TV on X.
Kris Russell TV. That's it.
I've had it for like since like I've had that name in my old one since like 2013. So
okay, all right. So it means
like
a
I've
lot.
had that account made, but I made the name in like 2019.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely check you out. But we're checking out Full Gear right now, and we're covering All Elite Wrestling Full Gear 2023, the AEW TBS Championship. I kind of messed myself up there. I was mentioning AEW, and I said it twice. AEW TBS champion Kris Statlander defending against Skye Blue and Julia Hart. Skye Blue has a whole new sort of gimmick now. She's coming out with the darker eyes. Well, not the darker eyes, but like the
and
like,
she's still babyface.
Yeah, she's still babyface. Kind of weird new song. Again, a lot of back and forth action here. Actually, again here. Let's see if I did that. Here we go. So Kris Statlander slams Skye Blue face first onto the rope. There's just a bunch of shit. Julia lands a moonsault, gets a 2 count. The end comes when Kris Statlander Germans both ladies, and then Statlander nails Skye Blue with a Saturday Night Fever. With that, Julia Hart takes advantage and nails a clothesline to the back of Statlander, and Julia Hart pins Skye Blue to get a 3 count. Not Skye Blue. Julia Hart is our new AEW TBS champion. What were your thoughts? I'm gonna start.
Why the fuck
to tell us?
Why the fuck would you take the championship off Kris Statlander? I'm not a big. I'm gonna repeat myself. I'm not a fan of women's wrestling, but Kris Statlander and Toni Storm are the only 2 women in that division who could somewhat or the only good workers, and you took the damn title off her. If you're not going to elevate Kris Statlander oh my god, I'm stuttering like a motherfucker because this is ridiculous. If you're not going to elevate Kris Statlander into the main event scene of your women's division, which means go for an AEW World Heavy or World title run, why the fuck did she lose? Come on now,
well, maybe that's
Julia
why.
Hart. It better be because Julia Hart, really.
Yeah, she needs some work. I will say she needs some work done in the ring. Her moves were kind of missed a couple of spots.
Fuck the ring for a second because we knew she couldn't wrestle. Let's talk about her character. She goes out there and plays this bootleg lady.
Not me saying this. This is Christian Morales, so go after him, not me.
She's going out there and playing this bootleg version of The Undertaker. And then she's going on Twitter tweeting about how she's baking cookies with her husband. Look, if you're playing, I believe that I know that kayfabe is dead, but if you're playing a character like this, Julia Hart, please stay in character. But hey, we're gonna see. I'm not shitting on it completely, but I just didn't think the match was good.
Cookies.
Don't post about it when you're playing.
I mean, just because she's a goth doesn't mean she doesn't like her chocolate chip cookie. What about the Snickers?
Listen, I didn't like the match. I didn't like the outcome of it.
Do you think Rhea Ripley likes chocolate chip cookies?
I think Rhea Ripley is the most gorgeous women, lady in all of America.
Lady. You first said woman, then lady. Why aren't you calling her
I'm
mommy?
trying to keep I'm trying to keep it respectful
Oh,
because I like Rhea Ripley. But
okay.
holy hell, she is gorgeous as fuck. She's perfect in
I
every single way.
Mary Poppins, magically perfect in every single way.
There's two women. There's only four. I hate women's wrestling. There's only four ladies I watch it for. Bianca, that not because I like her. I think she sucks her character wise, but I think she's good wrestling. Charlotte or Bianca, Charlotte, Becky, and Rhea is number one. But Chelsea Green,
I really want to
you are
see
perfect, Chelsea Green.
Chelsea Green
You
is
are
good.
amazing. Chelsea Green is
Chelsea Green is good.
amazing. I'm a
I want to
huge
see
fan of
Rhea
Chelsea.
and Becky at WrestleMania.
Oh yeah.
Rhea and Becky,
Don't
and then they can do Bianca and Jade, because I'm basic. But yeah, I mean that match. We're talking about other women, so that just kind of shows you how much that match had importance. I feel like I would be okay if Julia won if she was doing a good job in the ring. She botched a couple moves. Sky Blue botched a couple moves, and I don't know. Like I know the crowd loves
I
her. I
think Willow
like
Nightingale should have been the one to, if you're
Willow
gonna take the TV
Nightingale
title of Chris Statlander, why not have it be Willow Nightingale? I know she gets these title opportunities and loses them. Why? Why is Julia Hart beating Willow Nightingale in the first place? But anyway,
because the house always wins.
oh Lord.
I like her theme song. The house
She put me to
always
sleep in that media scrum. She came on in the media scrum, I turned her right off. That's why I gotta finish it later. I'm not listening to the fucking her speak.
You guys have
Have you
some
heard her
beef.
voice? Julia Hart is beautiful. And she sounds like this. She sounds scary.
Well,
Like
I
fuck.
mean, I mean, I wouldn't want to hang out with her on a Friday night. I mean, what do you think we're really going to do? We're going to sit there and burn our bodies
I
and like talk
wonder how
about
the holy shit. Her
God. I mean,
voice is
she used to
ferocious.
be kind of cool and different with the whole cheerleader thing, but
Oh Lord. I I think she needs to get a college degree. And if she has one, use
let's talk about this segment that I'm sure you are happy with. Tony, I know I'm not going to go there. Tony Schiavone introduces the newest member of AEW, Will Ospreay. I was happy to see him. I love him. I love his song, but I will say I was a little underwhelmed because I kind of always sort of figured that Ospreay would end up in AEW. So the fact that they were like, "This is the biggest signing from," and it is a huge signing. Don't get me wrong, but like I thought it was gonna be someone who never appeared in AEW before, because it's like he's been there before. He wrestled for their pay per view, so I thought it was gonna be someone brand new that we've never seen, but. He comes out, he signs the contract. Ospreay says it feels great to be a part of AEW. I am not going to come in just yet. I was a part of New Japan Pro Wrestling since I was 22. Let me finish up, and then I'll be on the road to Revolution. Line up everybody you got. I am all elite. So, he will have some great matches. I'm excited. I love his theme song. I like him. He is a great wrestler. So let me throw it to you. What do you think?
Will Ospreay is my favorite wrestler. I thought he was gonna sign with TNA because I watched Impact this Thursday, and him and Josh Alexander had a beautiful match.
Oh, I bet. I have to
Um, it was heaven to my eyes. But
look
Will Ospreay signing with AEW, I knew it was gonna happen. I'm very happy he gets to do whatever he wants. He still gets to live in the UK. He's still going to have the relationship with New Japan as AEW does. So he's still going to work with them once he's done with his official run. It's just a great, great signing for AEW. I just hope my one worry about. See, the reason why I wanted him to sign with TNA is because they're rebuilding TNA. They're doing everything. They should try to get a lot of names as they can. Good TV deal. I thought Will Ospreay was going to be the guy to help him get that, but again, I'm happy for him. I love the guy. He's
plus
my
Goldberg.
favorite wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler. I can't stress this enough. Will Ospreay, you were my favorite wrestler.
I have the main event for what's the name of the pay-per-view coming up? World's End.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
ready? Sting and Ric Flair, okay, versus
Oh my
Goldberg
god.
and Christian Cage. And
So
during this match, or no, not even Christian Cage, Jake Roberts. Okay, because Jake Roberts actually competed for WCW.
since Tony is a WCW nutcase, yeah, he'll book it.
That's gonna happen at Winner's Edge.
Since he's a WCW mark,
What is it called?
he'll book it.
Winners Done?
I thought it was called World's End.
World's End. Okay.
That's the gayest
Done.
pay per
Whatever.
view. That's the stupidest pay per view name ever.
So, let's talk about our next match, the Texas Death Match. Hangman Adam Page versus Swerve
Finally, something
Strickland
good.
with Prince Nana. This was really, really good. I will tell you, I mentioned this last night. There were some parts I felt like were unnecessary. Him bleeding and Page drink like, and then the end where like he hangs Page. Like there were some parts I felt like were really good and really told a good story, but and I get it, the rivalry is that hard, so they're going to that length. And I know I sound old but I do think that there are some parts that weren't necessary. Him drinking that blood, do you know how like disgusting? Like that's gross.
Yes.
And these
My
guys like I've
girlfriend
never
was
seen anything
disgusted.
like that. It's like I literally like I looked at it and I was disgusting.
Yeah,
But
my
I
girlfriend was like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, it's like that meme when mom walks into the room and she, you know, so yeah, we saw a lot of moments where Paige is stapling Swerve Strickland. We saw moments where Swerve hits Strickland in the back. Well, that's kind of how it ends. Like he attacks Strickland with the cinder block. He being Swerve pile drives. Um, oh gosh. I just got a random text I didn't expect to see while I'm recapping this fucking episode. Wow, that took me out. Okay, so Swerve hits a pile driver to Hangman Adam Page on the railing. Um, Page bites and rams barbed wire in the face of Swerve Strickland and nails a fallaway slam. Um, there's a lot of back and forth. We see the barbed wire chair. We see the spot where Prince Nana gets a dead eye through the table. Brian Cage comes out and tries to attack, but he ends up getting attacked by Page. And the end comes, Swerve breaks the cinder block over the back of Adam Page's head, and then Swerve chokes Page with a chain and hangs Page with it, and Page cannot get up for the count of 10. I really liked it. There were some parts, like I said, that were kind of unnecessary, but what were your thoughts?
So I hate death matches. I don't like Texas death matches. I don't watch them. I hate them. I hate them. But this match was an absolute banger. Let me tell you. So I'm watching the match. When they started stapling each other, that's when I was about to turn it off. I was about to be like, okay, I'm gonna go. I'm not watching this. I'm
Like
gonna
this is
save. I'm
not
gonna
it.
watch. This is not. This is gonna be a fucking shit show. And then, you know, we saw some wrestling. It's Texas Death. It's AEW Hangman. I knew some of the barbed wire. I knew that shit was gonna happen, but they made it good, right? This is why I thought it was very good. AEW in the past couple months, I want to say since the whole Adam Cole MJF thing, they haven't been telling a good story leading up to a big pay per view match. Now, the first time they did it, they didn't really have a good build up at Wrestle Dream.
Wrestle Dream, yeah.
The Wrestle Dream match was still good. Don't get me
It was
wrong, but they
good.
didn't have a good build up. With this, we saw Swerve breaking into his home. They're all backstage altercations, contract signings. We've seen good, things on the weekly shows for this build up. So that's why it made for me. I didn't mind it being Texas Death. I didn't mind it being this violent. I didn't like them stapling each other, Hangman drinking his blood. I like, Prince Nada kind of doing his thing, making it somewhat entertaining. But I thought it was a banger. I mean, Swerve's fucking great. He's great. I've been a huge fan of Swerve because he's from the same area as me, same city right next door. He's great. I'm not a big fan of Hangman. I hate Hangman. I think he's the worst AEW champion. But he's been doing his thing in this feud with Swerve. I don't like him being a part of Kenny and the Bucks clique. I like him like this on his own. He impressed me here. So if they do a part 3, I'm not going to be mad. I would love to see this match again. But good match. I love Swerve. I have nothing bad to say about it. Surprisingly, because it was this. I hate death matches. I don't like hardcore matches. They take no talent and skill at all. These type of matches take no talent and skill. But Hangman, I'm giving you fucking props. Can't believe I'm doing this. But when you have 2 professional wrestlers who can wrestle, they can make, it's not all, they didn't make it all about, they wrestled, they did some spots. That's why to me it was really, they told a good story here. So good match by these 2. I kind of want to see this. I want to see this match again. Maybe not another Texas Death, but fuck it. I mean, it was good. It was good stuff. Good job.
Listen, that match was the best match.
That was the main event in my eyes.
Yeah, I thought that was the best match. I really enjoyed that one. And then, like I said, after, I think I told you this earlier while we were on, before we recorded, that to me should have been the main event. After that match, it was as if
who the fuck wants to lay around other people's blood?
I think they changed the math though. I feel like I didn't see a lot of blood afterwards.
They better.
So, well, listen, we'll move along. Sorry. So we have.
Oh God, I'm not ready for this next one.
Yeah, I know. A number one contenders.
I know because I'm actually gonna say positive things about it.
Okay.
I can't believe it in my holy Lord.
Okay. Well, listen. I didn't give this one a lot of like a fair chance in terms of like I wasn't really paying much attention after that other match that we had just saw. Again, match placement. We have the number one contenders match: Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks here. Don Callis is on commentary. There was a lot of decent stuff. We saw the Young Bucks low blow. I think was it Kenny Omega or was it Jericho? One of them low blow one of them, and then Jericho low blows Nick. Matt nails Kenny with a 1-winged angel and gets a 2 count, but then Kenny ends up getting the advantage and hits Matt with a 1-winged angel and gets a 3. And Chris Jericho and Kenny Omega get the win. What were your thoughts on them winning?
So this match didn't make it. I've reported, or I've seen reports. I don't really do too much reporting. I kind of just give my thoughts on something because I don't like. I'm not a journalist. I don't like to call myself that. But I think I'm gonna say that the Young Bucks are taking a break. I'm very open for my hatred. I said there's 2 people I use the hate word. 2 things. Young Bucks are one of those people. I don't like these guys. I'm gonna give them their credit here. Good match. They didn't do too much of their hokey pokey gymnastics, super kicky bullshit.
Yeah, I can't, dude. Imagine taking notes for one of the Young Bucks match. Like I can't.
I love Kenny. I don't like Kenny as a person. I enjoy his matches. I think Kenny as a person is. Oh, I enjoy the shit out of his matches though. So and Jericho, he looked a little slow here, but he did his thing. He did what he was supposed to do. Did a lion salt that looked very awful. The lion salt was god awful. He almost landed on his neck, but other than that, it was a good match. It kept me invested, and I just want to say, if you're one of those people out there who like to shit on Chris Jericho and say he's not important, go fuck yourself. Because let me tell you something. I was watching this pay-per-view with my girlfriend, and her people started coming down and they came down to peak. Mind you, the whole night nobody knew who the fuck I was watching. Chris Jericho comes on. Is that Chris Jericho? He still wrestles?
Yeah.
Don't say Chris Jericho isn't valuable. He's the reason why AEW got on television. So Okay, but decent match. I just wanted to give that little rant there. But good match. The Young Bucks were in it. I'm surprised. I'm saying it. So I think like you said, Anthony, match placement's very important. And this match should have not been the co-main event, let alone after that Texas Death Match.
Yeah, I
Look, they could
agree.
have done whatever they want, right? The main event made sense for it to be the main event. It's been advertised the main event forever. That makes sense, right? It's your world champion. In my opinion, the world champion should be your biggest star should be your main event, which is what MJF is. So, but
Hmm.
this match after the Texas Death Match, for it to be a co-main event, bad match placing, good match.
I agree. And again, I have to like go back and watch. But I feel like the story of this match is afterwards, the Young Bucks just like destroy ringside. They act like little kids, and I think that's the whole point. They wanted to expose that because that's what Jericho said about them, or I'm sorry, Omega said about them. So it looks as if the Young Bucks are going back to their heel gimmick. Next, we have the main
This
event.
makes me hate him even more.
Hmm. The main event for the AEW Championship, we have Adam Cole coming out on crutches, Gary take on Jay White. And before anything can happen, we see an ambulance come driving back to the arena, and it's MJF. He hobbles to the ring and he hugs Adam Cole, and we get our main event, the actual main event, the AEW champion MJF with Adam Cole taking on Jay White with the Guns. So Jay White pretty much taunts Adam Cole at ringside. The Guns get kicked out. Jay White did really good here. You know, he made himself look really good. MJF lands a kangaroo kick. We see Uranagi from Jay White. This is my favorite moment when he puts Jay White on the table. It breaks. MJF's like, fuck it. He climbs to the top rope and he has a flying elbow drop to the floor. MJF then nails a cutter to the floor to Jay White, which is crazy. Jay White then attacks MJF's leg. Adam Cole has a towel and you think he's going to throw it in. The ref gets knocked out. MJF low blows Jay White and then hits Jay White with a dynamite does diamond ring. And MJF retains the title. I thought it was a good match. I thought it was a good title match. Jay White did good. But again, I kind of was out of it after that Swerve match. So what do you think?
So my problem was right. This MJS matches to me just feel so WWE. Like, don't get me wrong, he sells that leg injury like hell, right? MJF's great. I'm not sitting here saying MJF's not great. Let me talk about the match. The match was good because this match didn't interest it disappointed me a little bit because MJF, let's be honest, in a grown if anyone's legs fucked up, right, they're not winning the match. So to me, this just felt like, MJF like I know the moments between matches are so important, but MJF kind of right now, especially since he's been this baby face, has attention to do too much in between his moves. That's like just wrestle. Like I'm watching it like he's come on like kangaroo, like he's doing a little bit too much, just wrestle. MJF, I don't like. The media scrum just made me not like him. His title run right now, even more.
I'd
I'm
watch
not
it.
liking this title run. I'm not liking this heel. I'm not liking this baby face MJF. Where's the MJF that calls people stupid redneck hillbillies, shits on cities, shits on your like? Where's that MJF? Why am I getting an MJF who's crying, talking about he's thankful that he got to wrestle Jay White in a sold out crowd. I'm so thankful. I love all my fans. What the what? No, 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 no. That's my problem with MJF. That's my problem with this main event. This just felt like such a babyface WWE type of match. So the main event disappointed me, and it sucks because I love Jay White, right? I
Ant
love
wanted me to
MJF.
mention what was it?
This is the second injury match in a row. The last pay-per-view, they did the same thing with his neck. He had a neck injury.
Who?
He had to fight through it.
MJF. The
Oh,
last
yeah.
pay-per-view, he had the neck
That's
injury.
another thing. Good. Yeah. Back there in the background just brought up a good point. Also, dude, he's working with a bunch of fucking clowns too. Like, he's working through neck injuries. You don't need to be doing that. Like, I don't know. I just think so. That's a good point. Also, he just brought up there. I don't think it's this match just felt so WWE, so scripted and rehearsed. I just want MJF to wrestle. I haven't been a fan of his title matches as of recent. I just want him to wrestle and talk his shit, not this
I'm your
baby
friend
face.
type
This
thing.
is
Yeah.
ever since they lost CM Punk. He's been not even not even since he was kind of a baby face before, but he needs to fucking do something. I hope he's the devil. We didn't see the devil, so I kind of think it's Adam Cole, but he needs to swerve everybody and say, "I'm the devil, bitch." Haha, I was fucking with you guys the whole time. Make him
Make him, yeah, be like, see, I would think that would be a good swerve, but I don't know if they're going to go that way. I have a feeling it looks as if it's going to be Adam Cole, if anybody. So, I mean, we're all just going to have to wait and see what happens. But that was it for this pay-per-view. What did you think all in all of the pay-per-view?
I rated it at 8.5.
Okay.
Overall, they started off the show with the match that everyone knows: Edge, Sting, Ric Flair, Christian Cage, Darby. They started off a match that looked good on paper, but it sucked. But they started out a match that was like, okay. Then they gave us the matches in between that nobody gave two fucks about, that were and then they ended the show hot. You know, AEW has a tendency of doing the weekly shows Dynamite and Collision with very weird, lazy, awful booking and storytelling, but their pay-per-views turned out pretty decent. So we're going to have to see what plays out this Wednesday. We're going to have to see what happens for the next pay-per-view. I don't know what the next pay-per-view is. Yeah, it is World's End. So I think MJF loses the title. I think MJF is going to be at Tropicana Field on January 27th. Whoever his opponent is at World's End, he drops it in Long Island, gets his goodbye, says his goodbye.
Listen, I'm excited for World's End. I don't have any idea what's going to happen, but I thought this was a good pay-per-view. Again, I wish it was cut down a little bit for time, but all in all, it was a decent show.
That's AEW's pay-per-view. They're always going to be till 12, right?
Yeah, dude, they're going to be super long. But with that, Christian, thank you for joining me again.
Dude, thank you for having me again, my
Will
man. I
Ospreay.
enjoyed being back. I enjoyed being back on here. It was good catching up with you again. And everybody Uncensored, go give him go subscribe, go listen. Good stuff. I still been keeping up. So
and we're gonna be putting
it was a good time to be a guest on the show.
Dude, we're gonna be putting your Twitter, your X handle up there. But with that, everybody, we are gonna let you go. Stay safe and stay uncensored.